Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we're diving into an excerpt from Psalm 43, and it's a really powerful text. It's filled with raw emotion, spiritual resilience. I mean, imagine, feeling just overwhelmed by injustice, and you turn to a higher power for comfort and strength. Yeah. I think that's really the heart of this psalm.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it.
And so we'll be kind of exploring, the psalmist's pleas, their self-reflection, and ultimately that unwavering faith.
Yeah.
That really shines through in this text.
Yeah, and I think it's, so powerful about this particular psalm is that it starts off right from that first verse with such strong language,
Yeah.
Vindicate me, O God. Fight for me against an ungodly nation.
Wow.
So what are your kind of initial thoughts on that?
Oh, man. I mean, it feels like a punch to the gut. It's so direct. It's so demanding.
It is.
I feel like we're just dropped right into the middle of this crisis.
Yeah, you're not eased into it. You're right in the middle of it. And it's raw. It's real.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's such a shift, in the second verse where the psalmist turns inward and starts asking, why do you reject me?
Yeah, and it was almost like a whisper.
Yeah.
Compared to the shout that we heard before.
Absolutely.
But it's just as powerful, I think.
And it's so vulnerable too, They're wrestling with doubt, with pain.
Yeah.
Questioning their relationship with God.
Yeah, I wonder, have you ever encountered, this kind of raw honesty?
Oh, yeah.
In other spiritual texts?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that's what makes the Psalms so compelling, They're so real, they're so human, and they remind us that, even those deeply devoted to their faith experience moments of doubt, moments of despair, and that it's okay. Makes it normal for us to also question, to grapple with our own spiritual struggle.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's comforting.
Yeah.
To know that.
Yeah.
That you're not alone.
Right.
In those really tough moments.
Exactly.
And then, moving on to verse 3, we see this beautiful imagery, reveal your light and your faithfulness. They will lead me. Mm-hmm. It feels like this turning point, like this glimmer of hope emerging from all this darkness.
Yeah. I think the symbolism here is so powerful. Light often represents, guidance and truth and spiritual texts.
Right.
While faithfulness signifies trust in God's promises. It's like the psalmist is yearning for direction, for reassurance.
Yeah.
In the midst of, all this chaos and despair.
And I think that idea of seeking light amidst darkness, I mean, that resonates even today.
Right.
Think about those moments, when you're faced with a tough decision. You're looking for that guiding principle, that inner compass to kind of point you in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's really what the psalmist is expressing here. And then in verse 4 we see the psalmist taking this really decisive step. They resolve to go to the altar of God to express my thanks. It's an outward action. It's a commitment to really reconnect with their faith.
It is.
What do you make of this shift from introspection to action?
Yeah, I think it highlights that link between our inner turmoil and our outward actions. It's not about ignoring or suppressing those feelings of despair, but channeling them into something constructive. Right. And for the psalmist, that means, returning to a place of worship. Yeah. Seeking solace and renewal through their faith.
It's almost like they're actively choosing faith as a way to move forward.
It is a choice.
And then we come to that final verse.
Right.
And it feels like this powerful self-affirmation.
Yeah. Why are you depressed, O my soul? Wait for God. It's like acknowledging the darkness. Right. But refusing to let it consume them.
And that waiting isn't passive.
Right.
It's active.
Right.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's not giving up.
Yeah, it's not giving up. It's perseverance.
Exactly.
So we've journeyed, with the psalmist through this despair. They're questioning. Right. And ultimately their unwavering faith. What resonates most with you from this exploration?
I think for me it's that honesty and vulnerability that really shines through in this text. Mm-hmm. It reminds us that it's okay to struggle. Yeah. It's okay to question. Right. And even to feel angry or abandoned. Yeah. And it's in those moments, of raw honesty that we can truly connect with our faith and find the strength to move forward.
That's beautiful. And it really leaves us with this question to ponder. When you face challenges, how do you find that strength to wait for God, to choose hope and action, even when things feel dark? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Psalm 43. We'll see you next time.